By the time Sunbeam and Cressida hiked to the bottom of the canyon, Cressida was so cold her teeth were chattering. "It's pretty chilly," Cressida said, touching her arms, which were covered in goosebumps. "You don't have a coat I could wear, do you?" Sunbeam said. "Unicorns don't really wear coats, so I don't have one for you to borrow. Some of my sisters like to wear capes, but the little canyon is usually so hot that I don't have one. Not that it would fit you anyways." Just then, out of the corner of her eyes, Cressida saw something the color of egg yolks amid all the purple. She turned, and there, hanging on a lavender cactus, was a furry yellow jacket and yellow boots with a fuzzy lining. Both were exactly the color of Sunbeam. "Look at that," Cressida said. She and Sunbeam walked over. On the jacket hung a sign that said, "Dear Cressida, thank you for your help. Sincerely, Ernest." "Ernest," Cressida said hurriedly, putting on the coat. "That's the wizard lizard, right?" "Yes," Sunbeam said. "I bet he meant to make the coat and boots purple, and they came out yellow." They both giggled. Cressida took off her blinking unicorn sneakers on the yellow and put on the yellow boots. "How do I look?" she asked. She twirled around in a circle. "Fabulously yellow," Sunbeam exclaimed. "But still not quite as yellow as I am." Cressida felt much warmer now that she had her coat and boots. "Well," she said, eyeing the rocks and sand and cacti, "I guess we better start searching for your sapphire. But where have you already looked?" Sunbeam blushed and glanced down at her hooves. "The truth is, I haven't started. I just don't even know where to begin." "It could be anywhere," Cressida nodded. She looked at the stretch of purple sand in front of them, and the mounds of purple rocks and the cluster of purple cacti. There must have been millions of cracks, crannies, and crevices where a yellow sapphire could be hiding. She could see exactly what Sunbeam meant. It was hard to decide where to begin. Cressida took a deep breath. She knew from doing school assignments that the only way to finish a big project was to do a little bit at a time. "Let's start by searching down here, at the bottom of the canyon. Why don't you go over there and use your hooves to look through the sand?" Cressida pointed to a stretch of sand next to several straggly purple pine trees. "And I will go look over here, and sift through the sand with my hands." Cressida pointed to a stretch of sand on the other end of the canyon, next to several cacti. "Sounds good," Sunbeam said. She trotted over to the pine trees and began to dig with her hooves and nose. Cressida walked over to the cacti and sat down in the purple sand. It felt cold through her jeans, and she was grateful that the wizard lizard had thought to make a warm coat and boots magically appear. Cressida grabbed a handful of sand and let it slip through her fingers. Then she grabbed another handful and another. Just then she thought she heard a noise that sounded like chuckling. She stopped and looked around. She didn't see anyone. Maybe it was just the desert wind, Cressida thought. She shrugged and grabbed another handful of sand. She heard the laugh again, but this time the same voice said, "Oh jolly oh gee, that tickles." Cressida looked all around her. That time she was sure it wasn't the wind. Then she noticed the ground shaking slightly. Cressida grabbed one more handful of sand. The laugh was even louder, and the ground trembled even more. "Oh jolly, jolly gee." The voice cried out. That settles. Who's there? Cressida asked. She wondered if some magic canyon creature was hiding behind a cactus. It's Danny, the voice said. Danny the Dune. Danny the Dune? Cressida asked. Where are you? Danny the Dune laughed. You are sitting on me, he said. Cressida looked down. All she saw was purple sand, and then the sand beneath her trembled, and the laughter grew even louder. Suddenly the ground underneath her rose up, so she was sitting atop a small hill. Right below her legs, two big violet eyes opened, and a purple mouth curled into a smile. Tricked ya, didn't I? Danny said. I bet you didn't know you were sitting on me, on a dune. Cressida giggled with delight. What's a dune? It's a sandhill. You've probably seen us at the beach, or maybe the last time you visited the desert. Cressida didn't have the heart to tell Danny the Dune she had never been to the desert, and she only been to the beach once when she was 5. She didn't remember it well enough to know if she'd seen any sand dunes. A few of us dunes live here, at the bottom of the little canyon. I'm sorry I keep tickling you, Cressida said. I'm looking for Sunbeam's yellow sapphire. Have you or any of the other dunes seen it? Danny made a strange growling noise. Well, he said, I heard from Dennis, who heard from Daryl, who heard from Doris, who heard from the twins, Dave and Devin, that the cacti have the yellow sapphire. They're hiding it from everyone on purpose. Cressida figured that Dennis, Daryl, Doris, Dave, and Devin were all dunes. The cacti? Cressida asked. Do the cacti talk too? Well, Danny said, sounding even angrier. The cacti can talk, and they used to talk to us all day long. But after we told them to give the yellow sapphire back to the Sunbeam, they told us they didn't have it. And then they stopped talking to us. It's awfully lonely down here in the canyon without any cacti to talk to. Cressida said. She could hear not just anger, but also hurt in Danny's voice. He sounded like he missed his friends, and she also got the feeling there was more to the story than what Danny had told her. Would you mind if I tried to talk to the cacti? She asked. Be my guest, Danny said. Maybe they will tell you where you're hiding the yellow sapphire.